And then there were four as we welcome you to T-Mobile Arena here for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. A trip to the Stanley Cup Finals hangs in the balance in this best-of-7 series as we are underway between the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. Stars coming off of a series win over the Los Angeles Kings as this one gets flipped out of play. Dallas coming off of a series win over the Los Angeles Kings in 6 games to defeat the Kings, send them home, and move on here to the Western Conference Final. Vegas coming off of a good series against the Edmonton Oilers, earning their ticket here to the Western Conference Finals. Here's Eichel in, and he's stopped on his way through. Back out to the point, and Hannafin sends it all the way through the slot to the far side. Gathered there by Stone and Lindell. Dallas gains control back out to center ice. Picked off by Vegas on the way through. Here's Jack Eichel. Taken away by Johnston now. Johnston into the zone. Tried to wait for his friends. Floats out to the far corner. Out in front. Picked off. Vegas takes over in their own end. Good hit by Rantanen. And a blocker saved by Schmidt. In down low. Vegas in their own end. One shot on goal for either side to start this game here in Vegas. Here's Barbashev dropping it off for Eichel. Pestered from behind by Heiskanen. And Dallas back the other way. Bach works his way in. Pestered into the corner by Luzon. And Eichel will exit with the puck on his stick. Up top, Sissons. Good stick by Lindell now. Dallas back to neutral ice. Near side, Rupe Hintz cuts inside. A bobbled puck inside into the blue paint. And Schmidt holds his ground for our first stoppage of the contest. Couple good chances down low on both ends of the ice. Jack Eichel making his presence felt early as he takes it in on Jake Ottinger. Bodies flying everywhere, off to a good start here in the first couple minutes of Game 1 here in the Western Finals. Faceoff will come in the Vegas end. Intercepted by Dallas, and then they can't turn it into the slot, and Vegas will exit. Here's Dorofeev up top. Taken off his stick by Harley. Rupe Hintz up the far side. Tried to cut inside, swatted away by Schmidt. And it comes to the near side for Mitch Marner out to center and Hurdle. Hurdle picked off at the red line by Rakowian. Harley sends it around. 3 minutes gone by in an opening period that features 3 shots on goal combined, 2 for Dallas and just 1 for the Golden Knights. Marner works in, taken away from behind, a turnover, saved by Ottinger, another try downstairs, hack and whack in the middle for a moment, and it comes back out. Here's Colin Blackwell. Blackwell flips it in, and Schmidt gloves it down, and a stoppage. Faceoff goes to Vegas. Back out to center they come. Holtz flips it in deep. Savoy, sad rather, down there with Lundqvist. Kicks over to Lyubushkin. Dallas works it down low in their own end. Lundqvist will get it out. Here's Sam Steele, who sends it around once more. In deep behind the cage. Floats out to the near half wall. Ernie keeps it alive. Cuts inside and denied by Schmidt off the stick. Steele now pinned into the far half wall. And Holtz will exit here for the Golden Knights. White Cloud off the boards. That's well offside, so nobody touches it. Dallas across the red line into the zone. Here's Sam Steele with a shot. Tipped in. Rebound stopped by Schmidt. And he keeps it out. Right in near the goal line. Schmidt stuck his left foot out to keep it out of harm's way. And we get a face-off in the Vegas end. Faceoff comes back for Hannafin. We've played 5 minutes here in a scoreless opening period from Vegas. Reinhart to Kolasar into the slot. Works in, denied by Ottinger. Reinhart picks it off left wing. Goes in deep back behind the net for Lundqvist. And Dallas brings it back out. 5.5 gone by in the opening period in a scoreless game. Bach works in, out in front, Fox up. Loses it to Blackwell, and Schmidt is able to make the save. Another face-off here in the Vegas end early in this one. Goes back out to the point. Petrovic inside and a denial by Schmidt. Orshak takes a shoulder. Vegas works it back in their own end. Now back out to center and Reinhardt. Reinhardt's had a good postseason. Fires it into the chest of Jake Ottinger. Sits on the dot for a moment as it comes inside. Johnston escapes with the puck. And here's Mikko Rantanen. Loses control on his way in. Marner cross ice. This should be offsides. No, they wave it off. Dorofeyev off the blocker of Ottinger. It comes back out to Marner, who keeps it alive, right wing point. Deep along the far half wall. Here's Marner cutting inside. And Ottinger says no, and the rebound goes down low. Dallas gains control in their own end. Harley out to center and Duchesne. Picked off by Marner, who turns back. Here's Dorofeyev. Pestered by Petrovic on his way in. Here's Hurdle back to Dorofeyev, who gets leveled. And Mikko Rantanen walks it back through center ice. Rantanen dangles, sends it in on Schmidt, who kicks it away. Goes off the back side of the cage. Luzon now in the trapezoid. Colin Blackwell pestering for Dallas. Still in the trapezoid. Blackwell gains control. Out to the point and out of the zone. Petrovic couldn't handle. Here's Petrovic bringing it back in wide. White Cloud there pestering into the corner. Goes in down low for Blackwell. Out in front, picked off. Steal stopped by Schmidt as it goes in wide. And Dorofeyev will bring it out. Near side Stone loses it to Johnston. Johnston feeds Colin Blackwell, who brings it up the near boards. Vegas is all over it. Penalty's going to be called here on Dallas. Eichel a shot, swatted away by Ottinger. Extra skater in for the moment here for Vegas. Blackwell touches it. And an early power play upcoming for the Golden Knights. A hold is going to be called along the boards on Wyatt Johnston. Let's take a look. That's what the officials call. Along the near boards, Johnston goes to the penalty box, and a power play upcoming for the Golden Knights. 18% is Vegas on the power play in this postseason. Dallas controls off the faceoff win. Lyubushkin flips it back to center. Howden back into the zone for the Golden Knights. Drops it off for Sissons, a shot. Knocked down, the rebound controlled by Ottinger. And now another penalty is going to be called, and this one is on Vegas. Brett Howden is going to get called for what looks to be interference out in front. Interesting. So now stacked penalties, one for either side, and we're going to get a 4-on-4 here to start this game. And the faceoff will come back in the Vegas end. So 4-on-4 hockey, stacked penalties here. And the faceoff goes to Dallas. Lyubushkin outside, Robertson, good poke. Lyubushkin keeps it alive. Back out to Foxa now. Squaring it up is Lundqvist into the slot. Vegas gains control. Here's Mark Stone. Centering pass is picked off by Foxa. Lyubushkin exits here for the Stars. Lyubushkin outside to Robertson, who squares it up. Fires a shot, save off of Schmidt. 1 minute to go on the 4-on-4. Halfway through the opening period here in a scoreless game. Robertson, backhanded try, goes off a body. And it goes in down low, back behind the cage. On the near half wall now, Vegas gets to it in White Cloud. And now another penalty is going to be called here on Dallas, already at 4-on-4. Here's Stone, back to White Cloud, stopped. And another whistle, and we have 3 penalties stacked on top of each other. It's another hold, this one on Foxa. And we're going to go to 4-on-3 here to start this game in Vegas. Four on three, 3 different penalties on top of one another in favor of Vegas. Lindell turns it over. Ottinger had to knock it down. Hintz will walk it out of the zone here for the Stars. Flip it in around the boards. 10 seconds to go on the 4-on-3. Then it'll go back to 4-on-4 for a moment. Hurdle brings it in wide, poked a little bit out in front. Save Ottinger, rebound, sprawling out is Jake Ottinger to make the save. So now 12 seconds, back to 4-on-4 we go for the 12 seconds, and then it turns in to the remainder of a Vegas power play. Face-off controlled by Dallas. Robertson will walk it out of the zone, poked away as it floats into the Vegas end. Power play now for just over a minute here for Vegas. 3 stacked penalties on top of each other. The final one counting down now. Korczak will bring it out of the zone here for the Golden Knights. Under a minute to go on the power play. Korczak works it in down low. Barbashev now spins inside and loses it into the corner. Howden now on the goal line, pinned to the boards. Floats out wide. Race for the puck and a big collision. And it comes out of the zone. Just about 30 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Eichel, a shot kicked away by Ottinger. Barbashev back up to the point. Hanifin off a body in front. Heiskanen with the shot block. And it comes back through center for Dallas. Ork brings it up shorthanded as he works it in out in front. Heiskanen off a body. Looks back out wide. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Vegas is on it. And Howden up the near boards as Dallas back to full strength. Pick it off. Here's Foxa now out of the box. Ork brings it up ahead here for the Stars. Waits for his friends. Sends it in down low. Schmidt finds the ricochet and stops play. 7:09 to go. Opening period in a scoreless game. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Johnston wins the draw. Labushkin gloved down by Schmidt. .704 to go, opening period. .11 shots on goal for the Golden Knights, 10 for the Stars. Bodies flying as Vegas gets it out of the zone. Sissons brings it up ahead. Sissons out in front, drops it off, and a score! Kolasar puts it in! Colton Sissons with the deflection, and Vegas breaks the ice in the opening period. Oh, what a redirect by Colton Sissons. He dropped it off to Kolasar, who let it fly, and then look at this redirect. Off his pants, off the seat of his pants. The butt goal. Mark Sanchez is in hockey. 1-0 Golden Knights. Unbelievable. What a way to score the first goal of the conference final. Duchesne wide of the net. Goes in down low. Back out to the point. Here's Rantanen to the near side. Taken away by Cole Reinhardt. Reinhardt works in wide, looking for the center. Cuts inside, and Ottinger holds his ground. 6:15 to go in the opening period. And a 1-0 lead for the Golden Knights. Kolasar let it fly off the seat of the pants of Colton Sissons, who deflects it home. What up, Stuff? That was insane stuff. Stuff, that was insane. I've never seen that before. Fed in deep around the boards as we hit the 6-minute mark to go in the opening period. Harley keeps it into the zone. Good stick by Dorofeyev. And this will be an icing call on the Golden Knights. 5:47 to go in the opening period. Dallas wins the draw. On the point, it's Harley. Gloved down by Schmidt. No further play with 5:40 to go in the opening frame. Back to Dallas again. Harley again squares it up, and Schmidt gloves it down once more. .12 shots on goal now for either side, and a 1-0 lead for Vegas. Draw this time goes to the Golden Knights. A turnover down low, and Schmidt holds his ground. Another stoppage. 5:25 to go in the opening period. Nearly a bad turnover there for the Golden Knights. Faceoff goes to Dallas. Harley sends it in, kick down and save by Schmidt. And another stoppage. Dallas on the attack here in the Vegas end. Dallas played 6 games in their series against the Kings. Vegas played all 7 against Edmonton. Holtz will bring it up here for the Golden Knights. Squares his body, cut off by Petrovic. Sam Steele gets it out of the zone. 5 minutes to go, opening period. Good stick by Luzon. Rakowian's offside. 4:54 to go in the opening period. And a good start here in Vegas tonight to kick off the Western Conference Finals. Petrovic takes a shoulder in neutral ice. Noah Hannafin drops it back off for Hutton, who walks it into the zone. Hutton into the slot now, kicked down at the last second by Ottinger. And another stoppage, this time on the Dallas end, with 4:36 to go in the opening period. Time on attack pretty much even, 128 for Dallas, 126 for Vegas. Rupe Hintz wins the draw there against Colton Sissons. A turnover. Olasar spins back to the point, and Hannafin downstairs. Sissons wide of the net. Sissons down low. Goes in down below the goal line for Kolasar. Good stick by Petrovic. And a penalty upcoming again on Dallas. Holding is going to be the call on the Stars. And another power play upcoming here for the Golden Knights. Heavy dose of penalties here in this opening frame. Maverick Bort gets called for the hold along the boards on Kolasar. And that didn't seem like a whole lot there. But Bork will go to the penalty box. A 2-minute power play here for the Golden Knights. Already up by 1. Faceoff goes back to Vegas. On the point, it's Eichel. Works in, fires. Might have broken his stick as it goes out wide. Marner now. Out to Stone. Blocked out in front. Hawk is on the puck and back out to center. Here comes Sam Steele. Short-handed up ahead for Dallas. Steele denied by Schmidt. Looks to the far half wall. Vegas is on it. Here's Tomas Hertl. Hertl brings it into the other side, and Stone, and he's gloved down by Jake Ottinger with 1:19 to go on the penalty. Faceoff goes to Dallas. They get it out of the zone. Good help by Rupe Hintz. Stone pestered on his way back into the zone, and now they clear. As we hit the 1-minute mark to go on the man advantage here for Vegas. 3 minutes to go now in the first period. Vegas setting up a play, picked off by Rakowian. Here's Rakowian up short-handed, picked off by Marner. And Dorofeyev turns back here for the Knights. Brings it in wide. Dorofeyev short-sided, denied by Jake Ottinger. And it goes all the way back down. Under 30 seconds now in the man advantage here for Vegas. 2.5 to go in the opening period in a 1-0 game. Megna up to Dorofeyev. Holtz back out to center. Good shoulder by Rakowian. Final 10 seconds tick down on this penalty. Dorofeyev walks his way back in. Good defense by Heiskanen. And Dallas back to full strength. Here comes Rantanen. Cuts inside. Rantanen stopped by Schmidt. Never got a clean look. Out to Harley now, who takes a shoulder. Stays alive. Squares it up. Off the blocker of Schmidt. In down low. Kolasar takes a hit now. Out in front, a save on Rantanen by Schmidt. And a $1:41 to go in the period. Faceoff sits on the dot. Orshak gains control for Vegas. Pindle on the boards by Johnston. Johnston escapes. Feeds it out top. Blocked by Kolasar. Harley flags it down, and it's tipped just wide. Petrovic now to Rantanen, who sends it off a body. Rantanen sends it back in. Kicked down by Schmidt. And Vegas survives the turn. Here's Cole Reinhardt trying to split defenders. Harley turns back as we're under a minute to go in the period. Harley denied by Schmidt. In down low. To the far corner it goes. Johnston out in front. Score! Matt Duchene with a bullet. And this game is tied. What a feed by Wyatt Johnston from the corner. And Matt Duchene was all alone out in front for the equalizer in the first. Duchene got around Stone, who couldn't keep up, and then an absolute bullet past Schmidt for the first goal of the Western Conference Finals for the Stars, and we're even at 1, under a minute to go in the opening period. Johnston gets a point on the assist, and Matt Duchene gives Dallas the game-tying goal. Right back in the Stars with Blackwell working it down low. Nobody home, though. Labushkin survives ahead. Down low for Bach. Bach pinned to the boards by Hannafin. Comes to the near half wall for Stone, who wins the race. Vegas trying to get it out. Final 10 seconds of the period wind down. And it floats back into the Vegas end again as time will expire on an excellent opening period from Vegas. Game 1 off to a good start. We're tied at 1 here in Vegas in the Western Conference Finals. It is the start of the second period here in Game 1 of the Western Finals. From T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, we're tied at 1 between the Stars and the Golden Knights. And a good start to this game. We're back underway for the start of the second. Johnston inside, Duchene cuts in, what a stop! Schmidt gloves it down to start the period. What a play! Let's take a look at this one. Goes full belly flop and just sprawls it out of the air. My goodness. Fireworks 12 seconds into the period. Here's Lindell out to the point. Tipped in, never got through. Hannafin gains control for the Golden Knights. Here's Jack Eichel, near side. A bobble by Barbashev. Dallas back the other way with Duchene, who takes the shoulder, keeps it alive. Duchene drops it off. Rantanen off the post, and the rebound controlled by Eichel. Back out to the point. Schmidt finds the puck. My goodness, Dallas on the attack to start the period. Vegas gains control in their own end, out to center with Dorofeyev. Up top, Mitch Marner. Inside a bobble and taken away by Matt Duchene. And the Stars back the other way. Duchene poked on his way in. Vegas gains control. Hurdle up top to Dorofeyev. Inside to Marner now. He takes a shoulder and turns it over. Here's Mikko Rantanen, picked off in center. 24 shots on goal for Dallas, 15 for the Golden Knights. Hurdle into the zone. Brings it in wide and fires a shot saved by Jake Ottinger. Ork will bring it back up here for Dallas as he works it in. Button hooks back. Into the slot now. Denied off the glove of Schmidt. White Cloud exits here for the Golden Knights. Whitecloud loses it to Petrovic. Dallas will get it out of harm's way. Here's Robertson. Robertson off his skate. Whitecloud got in the way. And through center comes Sod up the near side. Takes a hit. Stays alive for Howden into the lane. Denied by Ottinger. And a stoppage with 17:15 to go in the period, just underway in the middle period here from Vegas. That was such a good game, though, Stuff. And honestly, the only reason Buffalo didn't win, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about it, the only reason Buffalo didn't win tonight was that inadvertent whistle. They scored a goal, but the inadvertent whistle waved it off. Here's Hutton, a shot, knocked away. That would have been wide anyway. Ottinger got a piece of it. Here's Hutton, tipped in on the stick of Ottinger, who makes the stop on the second try. That one went off the shaft of the stick of Jake Ottinger, and he holds his ground to keep the game tied. Faceoff goes into the corner. Loose puck out in front, controlled by Dallas. Back out to center ice. Here's Sam Steele. Sends it in deep. Ricochets with Schmidt swatting at it. Fizens walks it back through center ice. Fizens brings it in wide. Poke to the far side now. Rakowian on the puck. Lundqvist gains control below the goal line. Dallas will bring it back out with Lyubushkin. Up ahead, Sam Steele. Hanifin with the pickoff at the blue line. Egan Kolosaw brings it in wide, flips it in, and a bobble by Ottinger, who keeps it out. Lyubushkin poked away. Here's Kolosaw. Him and Lyubushkin trade turnovers as Steele gets it out. Rakowian sends it in wide of the net. Goes in back behind for Hutton, who takes a shoulder as he feeds it out of the zone. Here's Dorofeyev. Dorofeyev, good poke by Heiskanen. Down below the goal line now. Heiskanen pestered. Dallas will get it out of harm's way. Here's Lindell. Feeds it in around. First guy to it is Duchesne. To the trailer and Johnston, who works in. Lindell now into the slot. Taken away by Eichel. And Vegas back the other way with Jack Eichel. Eichel walks his way in, waits for his friends out in front. Save Dorofeyev on the shot. In down below the goal line, Duchesne gains control. Dallas will exit. Here's Johnston. Johnston poked away by Hutton. Loose puck controlled by Eichel now. Vegas will get it out of the zone. Mitch Marner now. Picked off by Wyatt Johnston. Mikko Rantanen spins away. Here's Eichel. Sends it in on Ottinger, who swats it away. Marner takes a hit. Rantanen gains control here for Dallas. Long time without a whistle on this shift. Faksa with a bobble goes out wide. Eichel wins the race for the puck. Vegas works it in their own end. Dorofeyev exits with Marner. Jack Eichel brings it into the zone. He's pestered and loses it to Heiskanen. Here's Wyatt Johnston. Faksa now with a bobble to the near side. Collision along the near boards, and it comes back out here for Megna. Megna brings it in wide, looking for the trailer. Poked in down low by Harley. Takes a shoulder as well. Megna to Stone, and a glove save by Ottinger. Face off in the Dallas end, controlled by the Knights. Blocker saved by Ottinger. Outside Whitecloud now. Whitecloud works in, off a skate, to the near boards. Holtz, picked off by Bach on the near side. Dallas will exit the zone. 25 shots on goal for either side. No goals yet here in the second period. Both teams scored one in the first. Here's Sod, who stays on side. Good defense by Harley. Colin Blackwell now up top. Poked away by Whitecloud. Here's Howden. Pestered on his way in, keeps it alive, and that one never got through on Ottinger. Back up to the point, a shot. Blocker down by Ottinger again. Down below the goal line, floats to the near corner. Bork will escape with the loose change here for Dallas. And he gets it out of harm's way. Bork into the Vegas end. Pestered on his way through, and it floats all the way back down. And icing is the call on the Golden Knights. Just under 11 to go in the second. Still no goals here in the second period. Been a good game here to start this series from T-Mobile Arena. Vegas off the draw with Hanifin. Brings it out for Howden. Howden walks it in, squares his body, drops it off, and it's picked off by Bork. Dallas back through center ice. Bork dangles on his way in. Inside to Hintz now. Taken away by Holtz and never got through on that pass. That's a cross check. And this is going to be a penalty on Dallas. Extra skater will come in here for Vegas. Hertl walks it in. Lundqvist touches it. And there's the whistle. Another power play upcoming here for the Golden Knights. Roope Hintz with an obvious cross check, knocking Holtz to the ground. Power play here for the Golden Knights, looking to take the lead back. Marner swatted away by Jake Ottinger. Garafia pinned into the corner. Puts in back behind the net. Heiskanen wins the race. A turnover and a save by Ottinger. Dallas gains control in their own end. Rakoian will walk it up. Rakoian takes a shoulder from Jack Eichel. Stone up ahead to Cole Reinhardt. Weaves his way to the outside. Reinhardt pestered by Lindell. Good defense. And Dallas will clear. Over halfway through the second period now. Just over a minute to go on the power play for the Golden Knights. Eichel looks to set up a play here. Brings it in wide. Centers to Reinhardt. Works in. Denied by Ottinger. In down low. Reinhardt pinned along the boards. Kick to the far half wall for Keegan Colasar. Out in front. Good stick by Heiskanen. And he flips it up and out. Saad will work it back into the zone for Vegas. Good stick by Heiskanen. Along the far half wall they fight. Steele gets knocked down. Hertl escapes out in front right through the crease. Hanifin now to Hertl off the post. Hertl again denied by Ottinger a third time. And Ottinger says no with 16 seconds to go on the power play. Faceoff goes to Dallas. Final seconds tick down on the penalty, and they clear the zone. So it looks like the penalty kill is going to win another battle here for the Stars as they're back to full strength. Sissons works in. Drops it off for Howden. Now Hutton a shot off the blocker of Ottinger. And the rebound goes out wide. Here's Lyubushkin. Lundqvist now brings it up ahead. Takes a shoulder, and offside is the result. Lundqvist walks it into the zone here for the Stars. To Hintz now, a shot knocked down by Schmidt. Comes back out, kept in at the line by Lundqvist. Works in, denied, and the rebound. Out in front, controlled by Vegas. Dorofeev exits the zone. Hertl pestered from behind as he tries to feed it in. Bork says no. Here's Roope Hintz. Walks it in. Here's Bork now, back to Hintz. Loses it down low for Korczak. Back out to the red line and Sissons. Vegas works it in center. Colin Blackwell takes it away for the Stars. Fox, a good defense by Dallas, keeps it in the zone for a moment, floats back in deep. Blue zone there for the Knights as Barbashev now tries to work it out, and he will, but it's picked off by Lyubushkin. Just over 6 to go in a scoreless second period, after both teams scored 1 goal in the first. Around the boards it comes for Colasar. He takes a shoulder. Sissons will walk it up here for Vegas. Sissons Works it in back behind the net. Looking for a trailer, it's Eichel, who loses the puck on his way in. Boxa gains control, they battle for it below the goal line. Boxa escapes for Blackwell, picked off by Sissons. Whitecloud on the point, gloved down by Ottinger. And a stoppage with just under 5.5 to go. Faceoff goes back out to the point in Megna. Megna to Whitecloud now, who squares his body, tipped off the post. That one got wide of Ottinger, but stays out. Now on the other end, it's Rantanen with Duchesne. Duchesne out in front, Rantanen denied. Bouncing puck to Johnston, goes off a body and in! Off the deflection, it's Mikko Rantanen, I believe. No, Wyatt Johnston puts it in. Off the ricochet, and the Stars take the lead. It went off the glove of Schmidt. So many bodies in there down low, just a hack and whack. Down on the doorstep, and Schmidt couldn't react in time. And Dallas takes the lead here in Vegas, quieting the crowd at T-Mobile Arena. First lead of the game for Dallas comes with 5 minutes to go in the period. Eichel tried to turn back, gets it on the takeaway, and he's swatted away by Ottinger. Here's Mikko Rantanen. Into the zone for Dallas, flips it in, rebound, overskated and a trip. Another penalty upcoming on Dallas. With 4:16 to go in the period, another power play coming for the Golden Knights. What up, Chris? Duchesne lost control of his stick. And another power play upcoming here for Vegas as they look to tie this game up. 0 for 5 already on the game on the power play. Remember earlier, we had 3 penalties stacked on top of each other for both teams, and Vegas couldn't cash in then. And they're 0 for 5 on the penalty. Stone works it into the zone here for the Golden Knights. Hanifin now. Works it in out in front. Dorofeev couldn't handle. Rakowian now gains control, and Dallas back out to center. Heiskanen flips it around. First guy to it is Stone. And a turnover nearly. With Dallas aggressive here, shorthanded. Here's Hurdle. Angles on his way in. Loses it to the outside. Rakowian, first guy to it. Dallas will bring it back out to center ice with Rupe Hintz, who feeds it in around. 1 minute to go on the man advantage here for the Knights. Tomas Hurdle. Up top to Holtz. Inside, Barbashev picked off by Lindell. Holtz gets it back. No shots on goal in this penalty for Vegas. Hanifin gets knocked down. Good penalty kill here by the Dallas Stars. They'll get it out again. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Steele floats it in deep, wasting time. Cole Reinhardt now pinned along the boards. Still no shots on goal in this power play here for the Knights. Barbashev walks it in. Here's Reinhardt. Works into the slot. Good poke from behind. And Dallas clears again to kill off the penalty. This penalty kill unit for Dallas has been exceptional here tonight. Vegas now 0 for 6 already on the power play. 2 minutes to go now in the period. Looks back to the Dallas end. Here's Matt Duchesne. Brings it in for the Stars. Goes in one. Duchesne, a one-timer. Smothered by Schmidt. $1:43 to go in the second period. 2-1 Dallas. The Stars have the lone goal in the period to take their first lead of the game. Korczak gains control here for the Knights. Sends it around for Luzon. Under 90 seconds now to go in the second period. Here's Howden. Takes a shoulder. Korczak keeps it alive. Then he turns it over to Labushkin. Vegas keeps it in. Here's Howden into the slot. Off his skate. Floats to the far half wall. Howden gains control. Loose puck goes to the corner. Lundqvist wins the battle. And Dallas will get it out of the zone with under a minute to go in the second. Hintz pestered from behind. Vegas turns back. Howden inside to Saad, who's offside. 33 seconds to go in the second. Dallas with a 1-goal lead here in game one. Faceoff goes to the Stars. Here's Matt Duchesne who will bring it up. Duchesne brings it in wide. Centering pass and a save by Schmidt. Johnston cuts inside. 22 seconds to go in the second. Loose puck out to the point. Vegas gains control, and here come the Knights. Reinhart tried to split defenders. Good defense by Rantanen. 5 seconds to go. Heiskanen brings it up. Maybe one final shot as he dangles on his way in. Drops it off and a save at the buzzer. 1 goal in the period belongs to the Stars, who take a 2-1 lead here on the road in game one. It is the start of the third period here at a quiet T-Mobile Arena. Vegas trails by 1. Dallas took the lead in the second. And now the final 20 minutes of game one are underway. Dallas into the zone. Here's Johnston, who couldn't get a shot off. Downstairs, Duchesne kicked down by Schmidt. Rebound out in front, controlled by Vegas, and they clear. Eichel cross ice to Stone. Stone centers. Barbashev now, wide of the net. Stone down below the goal line. Kick to the near side, and Eichel. All the way around for Hanifin. Down low, Barbashev. Up top, Hutton. Hanifin now a shot. Glove down and saved by Ottinger. Just underway here in the third period. Vegas looking for the equalizer as we take a look at Schmidt and the game that he's had in this one so far. Dallas has been on the attack. Schmidt doing his best job to keep it a 1-goal game. He gave up the go-ahead goal in the second. The lone goal in that second period belonged to Dallas. Made that stop at the buzzer to end the second. Faceoff will come here in the Dallas end. Eichel wins the draw. Here's Hutton. Glove down by Ottinger, and the rebound smother. Yes, I am, white van. I will not trust your white van. But yes, I am. Face-off this time goes to Dallas. Near side Bork. Flips it in deep. Race for the puck. Goes in down low. Barbashev gains control here for the Knights. Back out to center and Stone. Appreciate it, white van. Hutton pestered on his way in. Dallas turns back. Robertson keeps it alive after a bobble. Button hooks back and flips it in deep. In back behind the net for Hintz. Hintz out in front, pestered. Vegas looks to gain control, and they will. Here's Mark Stone, who turns it over to Heiskanen. Near side Robertson, poked away, goes in deep. Hanifin now pinned along the boards. Bodies flying as Marner gains control. We're going to get a penalty here. Another one on Dallas. Extra skater in for the Knights. Sissons inside, and they score! Brett Howden somehow gets it past Jake Ottinger. Unbelievable. Tie game at 2. A bouncing puck in the slot, and Ottinger just watches it go by. He went down to his knees early and then couldn't react to the floating puck. And on the delayed penalty with the net empty, Vegas ties the game. And what a start to this series here in Game 1. Still plenty of time in this one. Dallas flips it in deep, down below the goal line. Flips into the far half wall. Korshak is there for Vegas. I have got the Avs also winning the cup, by the way. Dorofeev loses it on his way in. Dallas gains control in their own end. Here's Sam Steele. Brings it up ahead. Steele denied by Schmidt. Loose puck out in front, and Schmidt just sprawls out to cover. 16-19 to go in the third period, and a tie game at 2. I don't think anybody's beaten Colorado, Chris. Reinhart will bring it up here for Vegas. Poked on his way in by Lyubushkin. Battle for it in front of the Dallas bench. Lyubushkin gets it out now to Blackwell. Here's Lundqvist. Faksa into the Vegas end. Turns it over to Korshak. Colton Sissons inside Cole Reinhart. Turns it over to Bach now. Here's Colin Blackwell who flips it in deep. Around the boards it comes. Met in the corner. Faksa escapes. Lyubushkin off a body in front. Vegas gains control as Holtz flips it in back behind his own net. 5 minutes gone by here in the third period in a tie game. Hurdle drops it off and it's picked off by Hintz. Here's Rakowian. Rakowian poked out of the zone. Here's Jack Eichel on the puck. Turns it over to Wyatt Johnston now. Johnston brings it in wide. Drops it off for Lundqvist. In on the doorstep, a bobble, and it goes to the far side. Back out to the point in Lundqvist. Inside off a body. Good block out in front. And here comes Jack Eichel. Back at the line, kept in by Hurdle. Dallas gains control, and here come the Stars. Roope Hintz up top. Puts the brakes on. Hintz. Good poke by Holtz. Vegas out of the zone. Here's Luzone working with Eichel. Pester to the near side. Kept alive by Hurdle. Hurdle downstairs to Eichel. Denied by Ottinger. Eichel back up top. Luzone. Blocked off a body in front. And it goes off the boards. Holtz now down on the goal line. Eichel a backhanded try stopped. Right wing circle they battle. To the far half wall they fight. Floats into the slot. Back out to the point. And Dallas gets it out. Here comes Dallas back the other way. Good defense by Luzone. Eichel with a bobble through neutral ice. Flip and follow for Holtz. Hurdle now inside and a save by Jake Ottinger. Jack Eichel was open in the slot. Faceoff sits on the dot, comes back out to the point. White Cloud swatted away by Jake Ottinger. Comes to the near half wall. Goes in down low for Howden. Vegas on the attack. Megna fires off a body. Friendly fire out in front. Vegas keeps it alive. White Cloud into the slot. Ottinger another save. Saad now picked off by Johnston into the slot. Another save by Jake Ottinger. Dallas desperate to get it out. And they will with Matt Duchene. Stars back the other way now. Duchene waits for his friends. Poked away down low. Keeps it alive, working with White Cloud. Harley now. Inside a one-timer off the blocker of Schmidt. Megna gains control. Vegas looks to turn out, and they will. Here's White Cloud 2-on-2 the other way. Good stick by Heiskanen. As we approach the 11-minute mark to go in the third, tied at 2. Here in Game 1 of the Western Finals. Cole Reinhart. Looking for a center. Kolasar denied on the short side. Flips in along the near half wall for Reinhart. To the point. A one-timer off the post. Stays out for Vegas. Dallas survives as they get pinned into the corner. Back out to the point, Luzone. Reinhart now. Back to Stone. Loses it down low. Reinhart bobbled out of the zone. Dallas forces Vegas to tag back up. What action here in the third period. Here's Reinhart to Stone. Knocked down by Jake Ottinger as we hit the halfway point of this third period. What a battle here in game one. A turnover sent in on Schmidt, who knocks it away. Back into neutral ice comes Dallas. Chance to catch our breath for a moment. Wyatt Johnston with bodies flying everywhere. Reinhart brings it back up. Polisar now to Stone into the slot. Score! Mark Stone puts Vegas in front here in the third. What a battle on both ends of the ice, and Vegas finally cashes in to take the lead back. Just fired a bullet past Ottinger, who didn't react. The glove side never got it over. And it's 3-2 Vegas just over halfway through this third period. And the crowd re-energized here at T-Mobile Arena. Dallas looking for the response. Hannafin takes it away though. Here's Mitch Marner. Marner inside and a whiff. Good stick by Harley from behind. Foxa pestered now by Marner. Dorofeyev takes it away. Dallas works it back in. Here's Foxa. Foxa down below for Blackwell. Out in front. Saved by Schmidt. Rebound off of Schmidt again. Hurdle gains control for Vegas, and they'll clear the zone. Up top, Dorofeyev. On the trailer, it's Hannafin. Works in. Denied by Ottinger off the blocker. And it comes back out to center. Earn up ahead by himself. Circles the net. Out in front. Oh, a save by Schmidt on the one-timer by Harley. And Sissons turns back. He's got numbers. Sissons out in front. Denied by Ottinger, and a stoppage with 7.5 to go. What a game here from Vegas tonight, and we aren't done just yet. Let's take a look at Mark Stone, who gave Vegas the go-ahead lead. And he's been all over the place down low on Jake Ottinger. And he finally cashes in here in the third period to put Vegas back in front. Face off in the Dallas end, sits on the dot, floats in just wide of Ottinger. Labushkin with the intercept off of Barbashev. Kept in at the line by Hannafin. Off the blocker of Ottinger, stays in play. Barbashev gets knocked down by Labushkin. And back out to center, and Robertson up ahead. Robertson fires from distance, and Schmidt with an easy save. We're under 7 to go. Draw goes to Vegas. Here's Hutton, who carries it up. Hutton dropped it off to no man's land. Dallas back the other way. Here's Matt Duchesne. Cut off by Eichel on his way in. Heiskanen now on the puck. Takes a hit as he flips it in deep. In back behind the net. Rantanen gets there first. Out to the point. A shot denied. Rebound out in front. Steele squares it up, and it goes off a body. Dodd back through center ice for the Golden Knights. Fires in on Ottinger, who forks it wide. Into the corner they battle. Here's Eichel. Now Hutton with it. Penalty called. Another one on Dallas. Hutton fires. Tip try goes wide. Vegas keeps it alive. Extra skater in. Here's Holtz. Score! Tipped in out in front. Brandon Saad puts it in, and Vegas leads by 2. That is the second time in this game on a delayed penalty where Vegas has struck with an extra skater in. And a beautiful redirect out in front gives Vegas a 2-goal lead here late in the third period. And this crowd is rocking at T-Mobile Arena. Dallas flips it in around the boards for an icing call. 5:33 to go in the third period. And a 2-goal lead for the Golden Knights here in game one. Dallas wins the draw. They get it out with Wyatt Johnston. Johnston weaves his way in. Good stick by Korczak. Dallas now needs to make up 2 goals here in the third. As we approach the 5-minute mark to go in regulation time. Matt Duchene fires, knocked down, rebound forked out wide by Schmidt. Vegas back through center and Howden. Dangles to the outside. Howden drops it off to no man's land. Heiskanen gains control. And Dallas back through center ice. Faksa feeds it in. Vegas works it in neutral ice as it floats back with the pressure by Dallas. Barbashev now gains control, tried to flip it up. And it's going to be walked in by Cole Reinhardt. Out in front, picked off by Lindell. We're under 4 minutes to go here in the third. Here's Bork ahead of the pack. Drops it off, and it's picked off by Barbashev. Good transition defense by the Golden Knights. Megna across the red line. Brings it up. Here's Reinhardt with a bobble, and the shot goes wide on the backhanded try by Mitch Marner. Battle in the trapezoid now. Lyubushkin there for the Stars. Marner there for Vegas. Escapes out in front and a save by Ottinger. Barbashev. Bouncing puck controlled by Holtz, and it comes back out to Lyubushkin. We're under 3 minutes to go. Reinhardt, good defense, and it floats out of the zone. Numbers back the other way for Vegas. Marner brings it in wide. Fires a shot, forked wide by Ottinger. Battle for it in the corner, comes in on Ottinger, and now another penalty. Another penalty is called on Dallas. And this time it's on Lyubushkin. Or is that Lundqvist? It's going to be on Lundqvist for cross-checking. And another penalty goes against the Stars, and a horrible time to have one, down by 2 late. Vegas is 0 for 6 tonight, though, on the power play. Draw goes to Dallas. They're going to have to work it up shorthanded, but they turn it over. Barbashev tipped in on Ottinger, and another penalty. Another penalty is called on Dallas. This is unbelievable. Thomas Harley called for a cross-check, and it's a 5-on-3 now here for Vegas. Things going from bad to worse for the Stars. Loose puck, a bobble to Stone. Here's Hutton, a shot, blocked down, the rebound. Dorofeyev stopped by Ottinger, who makes a good save, and the Stars look to get it out. Sam Steele with a bobble, turns it over. Vegas looking to set up the dagger shoot. Lindell takes it away here for Dallas. Dallas cannot stay out of the box, Charlie. Here's Hurdle up ahead. Drops it off for Dorofeyev off a skate. Lindell with the shot block comes back out. Here's Sam Steele. Cut off by Hannafin. And it floats back in on net on Ottinger, who just ices it. $1:22 left in the third, 50 seconds on the 5-on-3. I'm going to make a bold prediction, Charlie and company. Chris, White Van, if you guys are still in here. I'm going to make a bold prediction. You guys ready? Dallas controls the face-off as we approach the 1 minute mark to go here in the third period. Wyatt Johnston taking off his stick now. Heiskanen will turn back here for Dallas, flipping in deep. The Hurricanes do not get past the Eastern Conference Final. That's my bold prediction. Howden into the slot, loses it into the corner. Here's Barbashev. Floats out to the near side and Eichel. Out in front, picked off by Heiskanen. Loose puck controlled by Johnston. We're under a minute to go here in a 2-goal game. Johnston gets onto the puck. Empty net here for the Stars. Howden turns back. Bullseye! Brett Howden, the empty net goal, and Vegas is going to take game 1 here at home. Noah Hannafin, his 14th point of the playoffs. With the empty net goal to give Vegas a 3-goal advantage here over the Stars. With 30 seconds to go here in the third period. Hunting into the slot, stopped by Ottinger, and he covers the rebound with 25 seconds to go. I think the Hurricanes have had too much time off in between games. Dallas wins the draw as the final countdown is on here in Game 1 in the Western Conference Final. Hannafin fires it in on Ottinger, who swats it away. Good game up to this third period where Vegas took over in this third. The biggest story in this game, Dallas could not stay out of the penalty box, and the Las Vegas Golden Knights have taken Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. They dominated the third, which was the difference in this game. Once again, Dallas could not stay out of the penalty box here tonight. And Vegas takes advantage with a 3-goal win here in Game 1 at home for the Golden Knights as they take a 1-0 series lead in the Western Conference Final. Schmidt did his job, gave up a couple goals, but it's the playoffs where shutouts get that much harder. And a few good goals, a couple man advantage goals for the Golden Knights on delayed penalties. Really the difference in this game, as we just mentioned. Vegas takes Game 1 here over Dallas and take a 1-0 series lead in the Western Conference Finals.